Hi, everyone, and welcome to Motivation Monday. So I love the month of December. It's my favorite month of the year. I'm like basically counting the minutes until this month finally gets here. And then it ends so quickly. So I thought to help savor the moment and make it last longer that we could do Monday Motivation. So basically every Monday for this whole month, except for Christmas, because we'll move that to Tuesday, I thought we could plan out our week. And then that would make sure that we make every moment count. And as you know, I am not a believer in finish strong because, at this point, if you didn't do your 2023 goals, I feel like, one, they probably weren't important because you totally forgot about them. You had 11 months to work on them. And two, it just like ruins the month. Like, it puts too much pressure on it. And I think we should all just look forward and just start working early on our 2024 goals and the things that we want to do. So today I am going to be sharing with you stuff. If I can figure out how to move things around on this desktop. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. Oh wait, maybe that is it. I just have to move this over and make it smaller and go to the very first page. Aha, there we go. And then I just have to move me. There we go. Look at that. Everything's working perfect. All right. Hopefully you can hear me. I didn't even check, but we're going to do this every Monday. I do have a workbook. Of course, as you know, I have not finished it yet. I had like another meeting and a meeting before that. So I barely made it here on time. So here we go. And I have another meeting after this. So I will get it done. It's on this week's to-do list. How's that? All right. So I think that this is the greatest month ever, as I said. And I love that the Hallmark Channel has tons of Christmas movies. Although it's getting to the point now where I'm like, sometimes I don't want a Christmas movie. I'd like a break and maybe just show a regular Hallmark mystery movie. But I don't think they got that memo. So it's just Hallmark Christmas movies. I guess you'll have to change the channel. But here's what I wanted to do today. Just go over last week. So in the Scrum format, basically you just ask, what did I do last week? Just to make you seem like reinforce that like you can get things done. And also to show yourself that maybe, hey, you got more done than you thought, or maybe you didn't get as much done, and what happened and what can you do this week to kind of circumvent whatever prevented you from getting more done the previous week. And then your 1 December goal, because I don't know, did you make one yet? And then also the tools that are required to help you complete that goal, as well as what does your week look like? Like realistically, like, are you going to be able to fit time in, or do you just have like crazy meetings like I did back to back this morning? So, I really didn't have time to do this, but for me, I know that if I just put it on my calendar, like I'll show up. I might be late. I might not have everything with me because I have to make the workbook, but I will show up and I will be there. So you might need to do the same thing for yourself. So what did you do last week? So, I mean, it's one of those things where you're like, do I even remember what happened last week? Like, what was going on last week? So I did lots of social time. I for sure got out a lot. And again, even yesterday, I probably should have worked the whole day, but Kylie and I ended up taking we tried to do the 6 bridges walk, but we only did 4 out of the 6 bridges in San Diego. But that was like a good 2 solid hours of walking. Then we went out to lunch, got cupcakes, and so that was like a 4-hour day, which was fine because I loved it. But it did cut into 4 hours of work time. So I was a little behind, and I was up kind of late last night. So I did finish all of the workbooks, though, this weekend. So you have October, November, December, and I'm going to get a head start on January's workbook. Probably not this week, but at some point. And live streams. I did lots of live streams last week, and I launched the writing retreat. Well, I should say Molly and I launched the writing retreat together. So I feel like that was like a good week. And again, it's because I put it on the calendar and like I basically just forced it to happen. Otherwise, I don't think it would have. If I was waiting for like the perfect moment, I probably never would have scheduled it. So you need to ask yourself, do you have your one December goal? Oh, do you remember what happened? Do you remember, what did I want to say? Do you remember what your goal was? Like, did you declare a December goal? Because today is December 4th. So in theory, you would have already declared your December goal and you've been working on it for 3 days. My goals were to finish two, I don't know if that's cheating, that's like 2 goals, but to finish 2 planners. One is the pet planner and another one is either the moon planner, the tarot planner. I was going to go back and look and see what people voted on. So have I started working on that? I have not. So if I haven't, I should ask myself what derailed me. What derailed me is I just had back-to-back meetings. And also, honestly, I didn't even like think about it or plan for it. And what tasks do I need between now and the end of the month to make it happen? I need to schedule it. I need to print it out. I need to have it, even though it's going to waste paper, in front of me on my desk every day so I can be thinking about it, so I can be working on it. And I need to set aside time to do that. Now, like I said, I was doing a lot of socializing. Kylie actually flies out this Tuesday. And it's not even like I don't have other friends, but all of my other friends are married or, you know, have kids. So they really don't have time to hang out anyway. So she's the only single person I know. Well, Vonnie's single, but she lives like way, way far away. So yeah, so that's kind of what's happening. So I envision a lot of downtime for December to get some work done. So I think that will just kind of take care of itself. But you might also want to ask yourself, if not, like if you don't even remember what your goal is, like I do remember what mine is, and hopefully you do too. It's only been a few days. Was it not important enough? Like, were there other things on your to-do list that maybe should be your goal for the month because they're like big projects, instead of saying, hey, you know, I want to work on this goal. Like maybe you have different priorities. Like for me, Planner Pixies is my #1 priority for December, and that's it. And if you didn't get around to making a goal, why not make one today? It's a perfect start. So today's December 4th. There are 31 days in the month. If I did my math correctly, you have 28 days. So you have basically like 4 full weeks of December starting today. So don't feel like you missed out or there's not enough time left in the month. There's plenty of time. And honestly, like I know holidays and family takes up a lot of time. I don't know, maybe because I don't have kids, I'm kind of like, well, it shouldn't take up that much time. But, you know, if you have children, you probably have to go shopping. And then if you don't have enough money for that, you have to make some extra money to go shopping for the Christmas presents and then finding wrapping paper and stuff like that. So, yeah, so you might have a lot of things to do. So maybe you need to scale back your goal. If children, especially if children are home, I think they need, I know every time I talk to Molly that her baby needs like constant 24/7 entertainment. So if you need to entertain children, then maybe that's your full-time job for the month. Maybe your only goal for that month is to find shows on the iPad that the baby likes, or find games or activities to entertain the children while they're home from school break. So just be realistic, because I think you'll be really sad if you are making goals that you want to accomplish and you don't want to resent your family or be upset that you're spending time with them, because you want to enjoy that. So maybe scale things back, or maybe make your goals optional. So like maybe if I have time, I'll work on it. But if not, I'd rather just spend time. You could say I'd rather spend time entertaining my kids. Okay. And then how committed are you? So like sometimes you might need to say, this isn't really aligned with my life purpose or what I want to do. Like I thought I wanted to make, like for me, I thought I wanted to do some knitting, but I just wanted to do it to relax. And having to follow knitting patterns and like learn new hooks and different ways to knit was really stressful, and it was no longer enjoyable. So it didn't fit into my goals, and it was no longer helping me to relax. So now I'm just knitting a big square. Is it going to be a scarf? Is it going to be a blanket? No, it's not going to be any of those, because I don't care. And so to make it into something was like too much pressure. So I'm just knitting just to relax, because I like the practice of knitting. So you want to decide too how you want to use your time. Clearly, Lucky enjoys taking naps, and that is the best use of his time, and he has no worries, and he never stresses about anything. So tools or courses. So what do you need to like get yourself going? So for me to make planners, I don't need anything. I know how to use Adobe InDesign. It's not hard. I don't need to take another course, but I do have, it's not even a goal, it's just on my to-do list. I do need to make an advanced InDesign course. So I don't know that I need to take anything, but I need to go look out at maybe some resources that are out there, or if there's any new ways to do things that maybe I'm missing out on. So for sure, I should do that as a refresher before I go ahead and put that course out. But for you, if you're going to build a website, you might want to learn how to build a website, and that could be useful. Or if you're going to create a new logo for yourself, maybe you need to learn color psychology or brush up on some typography principles. The last thing you need to do is just say, what does your week look like? So for me, everything that I have to do is inside Google Calendar. So I have everything down to the minute, like if I'm going to do a walk, if I'm going to go to the gym, if I'm going to go to the grocery store, if I am going to have a meeting or a one-on-ones, all of that is inside of my calendar, because those are, to me, the calendar is non-negotiables. Now, the things that I need to work on, I know some people add those to the calendars. I put reminders to myself, like things like I cannot forget for that particular day. But otherwise, I just go ahead and I put everything into ClickUp as a to-do list under different projects. And then I kind of pick and choose what I need to work on. And I put that into Llama Life. I know it's like two separate issues. I think the thing is with ClickUp, it's like I don't want to say graveyard, but it's like a collector of every single to-do list thing that comes across my head. I don't have time to schedule it. I don't have time to prioritize it. I just know I have to get it done, and I'm just going to stick it in there. Llama Life is for me to plan out my day, and like every task I can estimate it that day. Oh, here's what I'm going to work on. And when I have time to work on it, I just start Llama Life and I start working. I tried using Sunsama. So Sunsama has the principle where it has ClickUp integrated and it has your Google Calendar integrated. And so what it does is it lets you take your calendar, like I have my schedule, and then I take things that are in ClickUp that have to be done, and I can put them into Sunsama, and then it like kind of fills up the time. Well, that gets kind of overwhelming, and that's like too much to plan. And then I kept like missing things, right? Like a call would go over, or someone would need something really urgently for something else, or the cat would get sick and throw up. And so all of these things like threw my schedule off. And then all of a sudden Sunsama, I wasn't doing what Sunsama was telling me to do at the time it wanted me to do it. And then I felt defeated, and it was like kind of annoying. Whereas with Llama Life, each day I just take the tasks from ClickUp, I just type them again in Llama Life, and then when I have time to work on them, that's when I hit the start button inside of Llama Life. It starts working. If I don't finish it in the 15, 30 minutes or whatever I think I allocated, I just hit reset or add more time, and then it keeps going. So it helps me to like stay on track, but it doesn't make me feel defeated. You know, like when you see like your calendar, I don't know if anyone has ever done that. You put a bunch of to-do stuff, list items into your calendar, they don't get done, and then you just kind of feel like a failure because now all the tasks from that day didn't get done. What did you do all day? Do you move them to the next day? And then you already had things the next day that you plan to do. So now you just have this like backlog of stuff, and it feels like you're never going to finish. So that is why, even though it's redundant, I do type my tasks a second time in Llama Life. And then when they're done there, I click done. It gives me the pretty little digital confetti, feels exciting. And then I go into ClickUp and I'm able to delete it. So that's my process, but psychologically that like helps me to like get more things done. So long story to say, that's what I do when I am inside of there. Okay. So what does your week look like? So a couple things, time blocking. That's how I do time blocking. Outsourcing. I just talked about this. So if you read my weekly Monday motivation, I've been wasting so much time, and I call this the lottery lazies, right? Like a lot of people, instead of doing actual work, they sit around and they fantasize like how much better and easier their life would be if they won the lottery. And then they're like, okay, well, if I won it, then I'd give money to this person, and then I'd hire that person to be my accountant. And you're looking at houses that you could buy. And not that that's not fun, because I do that too. But if you do too much of it, it leads to what I call just lazies, where I'm like, I was wasting so much time not starting tasks because I was so convinced that I was like, there is a faster way to do this. There's a more efficient way to do this. There is a shortcut or a hack, or there's already a template out there, or somebody's done something that I can edit. And what happens is I wasn't working on any of my tasks. And instead of working on my tasks, I simply wasted time looking for ways to do my task faster, or figure out how someone else had already done it so I could copy it, or maybe I could outsource it. So I wasn't doing anything. So literally the last week, my productivity was on fire because I stopped doing it. It doesn't matter if it was going to take me 10 hours, but I heard a rumor that it was going to take somebody 2 minutes. I just got started on those 10 hours and I got something done. Then the next task started and I just started on that task and I'm just using, again, the tools, the knowledge, skills, and abilities I have right now to get things done. And sure, there are other people that can do things faster. They have better tools, they have more knowledge, they have more resources available, but I'm not them. And to waste a bunch of time figuring out how to be them is also just wasting my time that I can't get things done. So when I say do a quick assessment of what tools do you need, just figure out how to make yourself smarter versus figuring out how to do it better or more efficiently. And not that that's not a good idea or endeavor to try to pursue, but sometimes during that time you could have just finished something. So, and I hear people say this all the time too when they want to go to the gym, when they talk about weight loss. The whole time they're talking themselves into going to the gym, psyching themselves up. They could have just gone and done a workout already. So, just think about that too. All right, so energy. If you have something you really dread, so I don't like that whole, there was that book called Eat the Frog, or that concept, Eat the Frog, where it means whatever awful, horrible task you have to do that first. I don't believe that. I think it defeats you. And again, this is a psychological thing. You're going to have to learn how to know yourself. Some people, they say it's great. I don't know. Is it really great? Or are they just saying that for a video? I'm not really sure. But I like it. And most people get super excited and motivated and feel more confident after doing little things. This is why when you procrastinate, you clean. You fold the laundry, you do the dishes. It's because they're quick, they're easy, you know how to do them, and you feel kind of successful after you've done them. So if you have on your to-do list, they always say this to writers, just leave the dirty dishes in the sink, don't do your laundry, don't brush your teeth, I don't know, crazy things like that, because they're just work on the book. I can't do that. I don't operate like that. And in fact, that actually makes me less productive because it is just chaos around me. And again, I am a minimalist, so I do not like having a bunch of stuff. So for me, everything to be put back in its place and where it is. And I try to put things back right away. So I never leave things out. There's never dishes in the sink. I wash them right away. I think the key one is just not to let them pile up. But if you can do little tasks, and it's called sometimes clearing the deck, make sure everything is put away. If that's what you need to do, then just take 5 minutes or however long it takes to do that, and then start working on your task. Because it's going to help you. Because if you're looking around the room, looking at all the stuff that needs to be done, it's going to, I think, decrease your productivity. At least for me, it does. Also, overwhelm. So a lot of times I have big lofty goals and I can't get anything done. So you either have to put on blinders, like the horses that you see in Central Park, where they can't see anything else. They're just working on that one goal and forget all of the other things that you need to do. Or you're going to have to take your goal and you're going to have to make it smaller. Because I guarantee if it's too big, you're not going to get it done. You're going to feel defeated and you're not even going to want to start it. Because you're going to be because what happens is maybe you only have 30 minutes to work on something. And if it's a 30-hour task, you're going to be well, what's the point of doing 30 minutes? Because it's never going to get done. And that's how I feel all the time about my novel. I haven't written my novel. I haven't worked on it because I'm you know what? That thing, and it's true, it's going to take 3 months to write. I don't have 3 months of free time. I only have 30 minutes. What's the point of working on it? Because I only have 30 minutes. So what I really need to do is I need to just shorten these down to small chunks to say, I'm just going to pick my main character's hair color today. Sounds stupid, sounds pointless, but if I had done that, and then the next day I picked out her eye color, and the next day I picked out her name, and the next day I picked out where she lived, right? I would be done with probably a lot of the book by now, but I'm not doing that because I'm leaving it as one big project that says write a book. So again, if you can make things smaller, it sounds counterintuitive. You're going to like make progress. It's kind of like what was that book? The Jim Collins book. I'm not sure if he said it in the book or I've heard him speak, but he's excellent with this example on consistency and discipline, where he always talks about the two groups that march their way in, was it Alaska? It was the Himalayas. I don't know. It was somewhere cold and awful. And one group was like, you know what, if we have a good day, we're going to push through and try to do double. And if we have a bad day, we're just going to rest it out and like sleep it off and just relax in our little tents and not climb the rest of the mountain. The other group was all about consistency. They're like, it doesn't matter if we're sick, if we're dying, if everyone has dysentery or everyone feels awful or they feel great, we're always going to walk 20 miles every day, no matter what. 20, 20, 20, 20. And so at the end, not only did that other group make it to the top first, the other group that did just sometimes they went, sometimes they didn't, I think they all died. I think that was like part of the story. So you do not want to be waiting for inspiration to hit. You want to just do it. And whatever that is, like if you are going to work a 5-hour day, a 3-hour day, just decide it's going to be that much every single day, no matter what. So like this morning, I did not feel like running at all. I only slept like 5 hours last night because I was up late because I went on my walk instead of actually doing what I needed to do, which was sleep, so that I could wake up for my 6 a.m. run. But I woke up, I was exhausted, I was tired, and I thought about sleeping in and skipping it, but I didn't. I went and ran anyway. It wasn't the best run, but I did it, and I got it done, and it's Monday, and now I feel like I have set the tone for the rest of the week, so I'm going to keep going no matter what. So my cardio is still increasing. I got my workout in for the day. Otherwise, if I hadn't gone, and I've done that before, where I'm like, oh, I'll skip it and I'll sleep more, I feel slightly better from sleeping, but then I feel guilty about sleeping in. And then on top of that, I don't get a workout in and I feel kind of grungy the rest of the day. So, you know, it's always better just to be consistent, whether that is like 10 minutes you can spend on something. So just think of a habit that you can add. Like for me, I'm thinking as we're talking, I really want to add writing. Maybe I just do 30 minutes every day. And it doesn't matter what it is, as long as I set a timer and I do that 30 minutes and then I move on. So without starting it, I'm never going to get anywhere in my book at all, ever. All right. So you could put Post-its on around your house and with the dry erase pen. Now, I have different feelings about this. So whenever I put notes for myself on the fridge or something else, it feels good in the moment. And then all of a sudden it's like I get used to it and my eyes just don't see it. Like they're just totally blind to it. I could have a big sign that says, don't forget to floss, and it'll cover up my entire bathroom mirror. But literally after like probably the second day, I won't even see the sign anymore and I won't bother to read it. So I don't know, if the Post-its work for you, great. Maybe you need to move them around every day, or you need to have somebody else leave you Post-its. I'm not sure what the solution is, but I know for me, for sure, I just glaze over them and I don't even see them. Health, I already talked about that. Money. Yeah, you know, the other thing too is we're adults and we have adult responsibilities. We have bills and we have car insurance and we have broken tires that need to be fixed, right? Like I have to take the car in this Wednesday and that's going to suck up the whole day. So if you are an adult and you have adult responsibilities, then it is okay. I'm giving you permission to say, I don't have time to work on this side hustle or this goal or this blanket or this hobby or whatever it is, because I need to pay my rent. That is okay. That's part of being an adult and being responsible, living in the world. And, you know, I hate to talk about people, like, I'm not judging anyone, but it is much more difficult to be on your own and be responsible every day, for not only for yourself, but probably for another person if you're a parent, than it is to just live at home with your own parents and just kind of coast by and not pay any rent. Like, it's a huge difference. And if you have real responsibilities, then you need to take care of those first, because it's kind of like Maslow's hierarchy, right? You need shelter, you need food, you need water, you need safety, and then you can start working on these other lofty goals. So that's how I always think of bills and rent. Like, always make sure those are taken care of first. If you need to get a second job, right? Like, this is why I have another job now doing HR part-time, because I need benefits and I have bills to pay and I need more consistent income, because now I'm alone. And so the rent that we used to pay, that used to be split, is now 100% all me. So that is okay too. KSA self-inventory. Again, I'm picking things this month that I already know how to do. I know how to use InDesign. I know how to make planners. I'm not really trying to make anything new, only because it's the end of the year. I love this month. I know I have a lot of other housekeeping things I need to take care of. Plus, we're doing open enrollment during my day job. That's going to take up a lot of time. So I am definitely 100% scaling back. I'm not trying to learn anything new, and I'm focusing on everything else. I've been doing a lot of talking. Who's here? Shelly, hi. Talisha. Who else is here? Corey, so glad you're here. Vertel, you're here. And Tasha and Karen. Karen, currently my work week looks like a lot of Christmas card writing, gift wrapping. Aw, that's nice. Vertel, how to eat an elephant one bite at a time. Yes, exactly. Amley, 1979. Have you heard of Goblin Tools? I have not. It's a web page and a cheap phone app targeting people with ADHD who have trouble breaking down big projects into smaller goals. It's amazing and has changed my life. Goblin Tools. Wow. I will check that out. I have not heard of that. Amy, you input your project, it breaks it down. You can also click a button to break down the steps further if you think they're still too big. It also has a time ester, which helps time blindness. Yeah, great. Yeah, Llama Life does that too. You can break things down into smaller tasks. And I did pay for a lifetime fee for Llama Life. So I'll probably try to use that, but I definitely would check out Goblin too. All right, everybody. It's a good point that if there are tools that are going to help you do your job better, definitely use them, buy them, if you're going to use them long term. Like, I've been using ClickUp now for a couple of years, and I have been using Llama Life now for, I guess, just a couple months. But I like both of them. And sometimes you try things out and you don't like them. It happens. All right, I hope this was helpful for everyone. I will see you tomorrow in the Heartbeat group. I will post the workbook for Mondays. It'll be one workbook for the whole month. And then also, I will see you next Monday, same time. I think it's the same time, same location. We'll be here, and we'll see how we did this week on our 1 December goal, whatever projects we have lined up, whatever tools we needed to learn. And then we will plan out the next week after that. So we have 4 of these sessions. This is session 1 of 4. So I will see you then. All right. Bye, everyone.